welcome back to the channel, lads. It is episode number 41 of our Tranmere Rovers Road to Glory career mode. We are officially in the Big Boys League. Our journey in the Premier League begins today. Honestly, it's whatever happens moving forward. It's been, in my opinion, it's been a huge success here with Tranmere Rovers. It is a Road to Glory career mode, and sometimes success is relative. Road to Glory doesn't necessarily mean you have to go on to win the Premier League, Champions League, or any other trophies in Europe. And to be honest, we might never achieve any of those things here with Tranmere Rovers. But whatever happens, to take this team from League Two to Premier League football, that's on its own. It's an unbelievable achievement. Now let's take a look. How much is the board giving to us this season? £32 million. That is a lot of money. Let's not forget, I've done a quick calculation. We've got the stadium to pay for. We took out a loan of £70 million over 5 years, 4.5% in interest rate. And that means at the end of that 5 years, we would have paid back £78,293,382. Last season, we've already paid £39,125,000 from the Ian Robertson sale, and that means with the balance of £39,168,000, we over the next 4 years, including this year, so this season and over the next 3 seasons, we will end up paying about £9,792 every season until we pay out that loan for the new stadium, which, by the way, will be ready at the start of next season. Now, if we pay out about £9 million from this, say £10 million, we will have about £21 million left in our budget. And to be honest, I expected about £15 million from the board this season. I was thinking, where are we going to have some money to spend this season? But it's a bit generous from the board, I've got to say. And for our objectives for the season, the board wants us to avoid relegation this season and reach the round of 16 in the FA Cup, which is standard. Within 2 seasons, they want us to finish mid-table. I mean, the only thing we care about is avoiding relegation this season. Again, for the 4th or 5th season in a row, or 4th season, other than the first season, which I really just focused on getting ourselves from League 2 to League 1. Since we have been in League 1, I have been trying to have a bit of a cup run, but it's not happened just yet. Maybe it could be this season. Youth developments, they want us to, and within 2 seasons, have at least one player from the youth academy signed to the first team and play 50% of the game. And they want us to get 3 clean sheet streaks in the league this season and sign 1 veteran player. Interesting. And they want us to increase the club's worth by 20% through player sales and competition prize money this season. If we avoid relegation, we should achieve that one immediately and gain £12.7 million earnings from shared sales this season. We will need to sign some decent players, wouldn't we, to achieve that one? And we now have our updated transfer budget for the season with our second season stadium installments of £9,792,000 pay. We have just under £23 million there. I believe 22,312,000 we have got left. I mean, I know I said at the start, the board, they have been generous with the amount of money that they have given to us this season, considering we're only just, and this is our first season in the Premier League. I was expecting about £15 million, as I've said before. But if you think about it, the 3 teams that were promoted in real life last season to the Premier League, the likes of Leicester, Ipswich Town, Southampton. I mean, Leicester spent £91 million signing the likes of El Khanous, Fatau, Okoli, Skip, the sign from Tottenham as well. Ipswich Town spent about £152 million signing the likes of Hutchinson and Grieve, the Lap, and there's also signed Jack Clark from Sunderland. Southampton spent about £122 million signing the likes of Howard Bellis, Ramsdale, Mateusz Fernandes, and also Flynn Downs from West Ham, I believe. So compared to those teams, we have got peanuts to spend this season. But as we know, all 3 of those teams got relegated, and we want to try and stay up this season, of course. But Luton Town, the season before, they only spent about £25 million. And, we are sort of level as Luton Town in terms of the size of the club and the infrastructure of the club and things like that. So it does make sense, the amount of money that they have given us. Hopefully, though, we have different fates compared to the likes of Leicester, Ipswich and Southampton, and we can actually stay up this season. That is the objective. And for the first team coaches this season, we don't need to make any changes from last season. It will remain exactly the same. And Claucci will remain the attacking coach. I thought he came in last season. He did a fantastic job, and we went on to have our best goal scoring season as a team. Our midfield coach would remain Henry Cross. He did a decent job as well last season. Our midfielders getting goals, assists. And for the defensive coach, we've got Joe Duffy there. Again, defensively, we were solid last season. And for the goalkeeping coach, Joel Shepherd, it will remain exactly the same. No changes in that department. For our global scouting for the season, something we've done from the very first season of this save. As we know, as per the Road to Glory rules, we only sign players recommended by the scouts. If we search for players, we can only sign those players that we search for on loan deals. But we're looking for a centre-back. I'm leaning towards a more experienced centre-back. Ideally, someone with Premier League quality, but I wouldn't mind a younger centre-back either, as long as it's a first team quality. And we're also searching for a left back, a more experienced left back again, ideally, but I wouldn't mind a younger left back who is also first team quality or first team prospect. We're also looking for a centre midfielder. That's one of the areas that needs improving this season. Hopefully we can find someone within, between the ages of 22 to 25, someone who is a first team quality as well. We are looking for a left midfielder. The reason I've gone for left midfield for this one is because when you try to scout the attackers, you only really find wingers and strikers. But maybe we can find a decent left midfielder there. One of the positions again with Emeka Odua handing in a transfer request. He will be leaving this season. We need to find someone of better quality in that position. Again, 20 to 25 years of age, first in quality, first in prospect. Exactly the same for the attacking areas as well. And I tend to do this one just to find players with a year or less in their contract, with between the ages of 23 to 25, that we could maybe go on to sign as a pre-contract as a free agent for the next season. It's always useful to just add one of those in any position, just trying to find those players that you can pick up for free. In terms of the scout though, right now we have got Atkinson, who is scouted in England. We have got Palmer scouted in France. We've got Loriton scouted in the Netherlands. We've got Fallon, who is scouted in Germany, and Stankovic is scouted in Denmark, and Razanin, a little bit of a strange one, but scouted in the South or in the Republic of Korea at the moment. Hopefully we can find some gems in that part of the world. And as we suspected, our first outgoing of the season, Emeka Odua, I would have liked to keep him, 10 goals in the championship last season. But unfortunately, he handed a transfer request for lack of game time. And I believe he will be joining the Dutch side, Utrecht, for £1.8 million, just a little bit more than his market value. I should have got a little bit more, but for the player who's handed a transfer request, everyone pretty much knows he wants to leave. And £1.8 million is a fair deal, to be honest. We have got a few more transfer offers here. Charlie Webster to Sunderland for £9.6 million rejected. Sunderland were relegated from the Premier League back to the Championship at the end of last season, and there's no need to sell to a team lower in division than us. To be honest, you'll take something a lot more than that to consider selling Charlie Webster. The likes of Jeffrey, I'm happy to entertain that loan move from Casapisa, I believe. Driscoll to Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers were relegated last season from Championship to League One. I'm happy to entertain that loan move as well. Collins, who is declining, we will be letting go of him this season. And Michael Buckley, I want to keep as our backup keeper this season. And that means Luke McGee can be our third choice keeper. I mean, it would have been an easy decision to let go of McGee. But the fact that he was so good for us in our first few seasons, for nostalgic reason, I would keep McGee for our third choice keeper. And Michael Buckley can be our second choice keeper this season. And here is a confirmation then of Collins, who we signed from Cardiff City last season, heading out to Gaziantep, I believe a Turkish side, for just under £500,000 here for him. So good luck to that move in Turkey. We should get a couple of loan move confirmation here. The first one, I believe it's the centre-back, Callum Jeffrey, heading out on loan to Casapia for a season. And we should have the second confirmation here as well. Okay, maybe not. We will wait a few more days for that one. And here we go. Alex Briscoe heading out on loan, on a season-long loan to Queen's Park Rangers, where he will be playing League One football for the season. He's got potential to be special, by the way, Alex Briscoe. So let's see how he improves. 67 rated at the moment. I've got a feeling he could come back as a 74, 75 rated centre attacking midfielder for the start of next season, which will be good for everyone. The player that we are going to miss, Chris Mary, unfortunately for him, 63 rated. I don't think he's going to cut it in the Premier League, joining Pushkar for £500,000. He was quite good in the cup games last season, but I think after 4 seasons here at Tranmere Rovers with us, it was time for us to cut tie. Good luck to Chris Mary. So with a few players leaving in this transfer window, the squad is looking quite thin right now. We will strengthen. It's just a matter of time. And to be honest, I'm not opposed to letting 1 or maybe 2 more players leave. Certainly in his Cameron, if we get a decent offer for him, I'm happy to cash in on the player who have spent 4 seasons now at Tranmere Rovers, and in that time scoring over 30 goals and over 50 assists, certainly the main man in our League 2 and League 1 season. But I think we have just, as a team, as a squad, we have just outgrown him right now, and it might just be time for him to look for a new club. But anyway, the plan for this window is to bring in a starting left-back, which if we do, I will end up allowing Joseph Goodwin to leave, and Arthur Stewart can be our backup left-back for the season. But if we don't, Goodwin will probably end up then being our starter for us in that position. I want to bring in a left-sided centre-back, which would then make Kumetio our backup in that left-sided centre-back position. I've still not decided whether I want to trust in Humphreys to be our starting right-sided centre-back as of yet. He's 19 years of age, he's showing great potential, so he is only going to get better. But if we do end up bringing a right-sided centre-back, it would mean Humphreys would be the backup, and in that case, we would allow Williams to leave. Norman is retiring at the end of the season, so we can't do anything about him. Exactly the same as Omari Patrick is also retiring at the end of the season. Both players are 32 years of age. I'm not sure why they are in a hurry to retire so young, but anyway, hopefully at the end of this season, we can give them a good send-off. Donnelly, I'm happy for him to be our starter in that right-back position this season, and Leo Connor to be his backup. And now Leo Connor is only 65 rated, but it feels much better than that. Lauritsen and Webster, I'm happy for both players to be crucial for us in midfield. We might bring in a centre midfielder, or we will bring in a centre midfielder who is better than Parkin, and Parkin can be a backup together with Henry on the bench for us. And out wide, of course, we will be bringing a left winger this season, which would then make Mulligan a backup, and maybe 1 more player who's capable of playing in any of those forward positions, and possibly in the centre attacking midfield position as well. But let's see what's available in our shortlist right now. You know what though? There are a few positives and also a couple of negatives as well when it comes to relying on your scouts to find you players to sign. One of the positives is you get to use players that you would never think about using if they weren't recommended by the scouts, and the negative being sometimes you have to wait a while for the scouts to bring in or to find some decent players that you will then need to scout before going on to sign those players. So it sort of delays your transfer plans. Normally you want to go into the season and get all your signings completed rather than waiting for the scout. But like I said, a couple of positives and also a few negatives in there as well. But to be honest, they have found a lot of players in the positions that we are looking to strengthen. Some of these players have been here since last season, scouted already. But at the back, I'm particularly impressed with the preliminary report for Alex Murphy here, who is, we might just be able to get him out on loan from Newcastle. I would imagine he'll be their 4th or maybe 5th choice centre-back even. Let's see if we can get him on loan. The club is not interested in loaning out that player, which, I mean, I do like the look of McNulty so far as well. The fact that he looks physically, he looks so good technically as well. Some of those passing, ball control for a centre-back looks really good. But the problem is we cannot sign a player who is more than 75 rated in our first season in the Premier League, which is why I cannot sign any of these players yet that we don't have their final scout reports. One player that I do like the look of as well in the centre-back position is the Dutch centre-back. Where is he gone? Here we go, Maxim Dekker, who again, physically, he looks okay. Technically, he's passing there. I mean, Dutch centre-backs, it tends to be the case. They tend to be really cultured on the ball, so I'm not surprised to see that. In terms of his wages and his market value, it's quite cheap, £3.2 million. I will be happy to do that deal, but we will wait for the final scout report for the likes of Alex Murphy and the likes of McNulty, who are all left-footed. We're looking to strengthen that left-sided centre-back position. And we also have the experience of the likes of Jan Bednarak and Nat Phillip. We've got Memphis as well. If we want to strengthen in the right-sided centre-back position, we also have Caleb Taylor here from West Brom, who 6'6", is an absolute unit. I wouldn't be opposed to going for a player like this if we do strengthen in the right-sided centre-back position. Left-back, we've got a few options to pick from, but one of the positions that I want to strengthen immediately whilst we have the opportunity to do so is Charlie Savage, a centre midfielder, 75 rated. He's not the quickest, but quick enough to cover ground for us. 6 foot, left-footed. Technically, he looks really, really good there. Playing at Reading at the moment, I think we can get this deal for roundabout his market value there, which is a lot. That will smash our transfer record by about £3.5 million, which you would expect in our first season in the Premier League. Let's get this one sorted. If I remember correctly, at the very start of this series, we had a player in the youth academy called Mason Savage, and I remember saying at the time, if we go on to sign Charlie Savage in the future, he could go on to maybe be the younger brother of Mason, but too bad. The young kid didn't quite make it from the academy at the time, and we're going on to sign Charlie Savage here, hopefully. £4.5 million, 10% sell-on clause. I'm happy to do £4.8 million and a 5% sell-on clause there. That is a good deal for us, in my opinion. And these are the sorts of deals that I like to do, you know. A player going into his prime, the wages is not too bad, making that step up from a lower league to a higher league. He wants it. He wants to make that step up. Hopefully, he can do it for us in the Premier League. Not quite what he wants, but he will accept that 18k in wages. And we have our first signing in the Premier League, Charlie Savage. It's funny how things turn out, isn't it? At the time when we scouted Mason into the academy, I thought if we go on to sign Charlie Savage, they could go on to become brothers. But I never actually thought it would have been possible to do. But recommended by the scouts, he looked decent enough to be a starting option for us in that midfield position. And for £4.8 million, he becomes our record signing as well, breaking the £2.3 million we paid for Lauritsen last season. You know, he's got a little bit of pace, he's got the work rate, he's got the technical qualities, he's good defensively. I think he'll be a good signing for us. Welcome to the football club. For the life of me, I just cannot decide between Adrian Blake and Harvey Vale for who will be the starting option for us on that left wing position. Both players look good and physically. Mentally though, looking at those stats, Harvey Vale just edges it. But technically, this is where the big difference is between both players. Ball control, Blake is better. Finishing, Blake is better. But other than that, you know, you look at the passing, even the defensive side of the game, Harvey Vale is so much better than Blake, which is making me lean towards Vale right now. The fact that, you know, we are in the Premier League, we need our wingers to work hard, we need them to contribute defensively, and Harvey Vale just edges it for me in that aspect. I mean, if we can go on to improve his finishing, he will go on to be all-rounder, a perfect player for us in that position. And for a market value of £4.1 million, I think this might just be the deal to go for. We have got left field options, the likes of Ricky J. Jones, who is a striker right now, but I believe will be perfect for us in that left wing position as well. We have got Nuke, who is a left winger. again, that strength just lets him down there. And I gotta say, technically, the passing there is not quite good enough. I mean, I think I've made my mind up here. Harvey Vale, I've talked myself through making this decision. Harvey Vale seems the player to go for. Let's get this one sorted. The fact that they're asking for less than his market value here, I think I can get this deal done here for about £3.8 million, given the fact that the tension bar is still in the green right now, £4 million. Let's try £3.9 million. If that's not enough, I'm happy to pay the £4 million, which is still less than his market value. Okay, it looks like that's what they're willing to do. £4 million. Let's get the contract sorted. And here we go for our second signing of the season, our second record signing as well. We broke that record to bring in Charlie Savage from Reading, but for £4 million, Harvey Vale, I think, is going to be a good signing for us. Like I said, the decision was made at the end with his defensive ability, the fact that he's good going forward, he's good defensively, and I think on that left-hand side, that might just be what we need for this season. Starting 11, and the squad is looking much better now, isn't it? With Charlie Savage in that left centre midfield position, and we have got Harvey Vale in the left wing position as well. He can also easily play as a centre attacking midfielder, which is a good deal for us. Maybe left back, okay, maybe not left back. That is a little bit of a push. We still need a left back. We still need one more player that would give us rotation option in that forward three position. We've got Mulligan, but I think Mulligan might just be fifth choice for us going into the season. But I'm happy to keep Mulligan for the season. I felt like last season, the first half of the season was really, really poor, but he did step up a bit in the second half, and I would like to see him carry that into the new season. I've just realized we gave Richard Kone a £20 million release clause last season, and that release clause was in case we did not get promoted, a team could maybe pick him up for £20 million. But now we are in the Premier League, I think I'll look at that contract again very quickly here and look to remove that £20 million release clause. Otherwise, that will be a bargain for anyone that goes on to pick him up. I tell you what, it's costing us more than a few pennies here to increase that release clause from £20 million to £30 million. And as I explained, the reason for the release clause last season was if we did not get promoted, we could allow him to leave for that £20 million without even having to negotiate. But he's exceeded all expectations, to be honest. And most importantly, we did achieve promotion last season, and £30 million, similar sort of release clause in Liam Delap's contract right now, playing for Ipswich Town. It does make sense. If we end up getting relegated this season, we are happy to allow him to go for £30 million. You know what though? Let's edit that goal bonus there. If he scores 20 goals for us this season, he can get 790 grand. It's not quite what he wants, but he's okay to accept that contract, making him the undisputed highest paid player at the club right now on 29k. And the next up there is the likes of Lauritsen, Savage, and Webster, Caregive. And as soon as these grow close to 77 rated, we would look to get their contract a little bit closer to Richard Kone's. We've got another transfer offer here for Charlie Webster, this time though from Southampton, which I'm going to reject. They're not in Europe. They have been in the Premier League a season longer than us, but I still believe there will be a fellow relegation strugglers this season, the same with ourselves, and there's no need to try and strengthen a team who will be fighting to stay up this season. Everton have offered us some money there for Lauritsen, which I will look at that after this game. Our first game of the Premier League, it is away from home against Brentford. We've got the likes of Palace, we've got Bournemouth as well in the Carabao Cup. That is a tough game to begin the Carabao Cup against Bournemouth. But that is the starting 11. Stewart captains the side in the left-back position. Harvey Vale, Charlie Savage starting midfield as well. Come on, the Rovers. I am both really excited and nervous going into our first game here at the G-Tech Community Stadium, away from home against Brentford, one of the outstanding team in the Premier League right now. And Thomas Frank doing an outstanding job at that football club. What's funny is they sold their best player, Ivan Toney, at the start of the season to the Saudi Pro League, and then everyone thought, you know what, they will struggle for goals this season. But they've gone on to score more goals this season than they've ever scored in the Premier League. And Buemo, who is, of course, no longer in the team now for them, they've got the likes of Matthias Sule in that team, which he's going to be a handful to deal with. But what a team this is. I mean, not just in Buemo. Wiza is another player that's doing incredible things for them right now. And Yarmolenko in midfield, so underrated. And of course, we know the midfield destroyer that they have got in there as well, that most parts of the season would pair with Yarmolenko in that midfield. It's Norgard, its name, isn't it? I'm trying to stay focused. Excellently done there by, I believe, Humphreys to win possession for us. Goes long, the goalkeeper. We're going to try and do a few of that this season. Rather than trying to play out from the back all the time, we're going to have to try and mix it up this season to try and get the best out of Kone up front. Of course, 23 goals last season, 26 goals in his first season in the Championship. Surely he's got 10 goals in him in the Premier League. But what a finish. I think that's Matthias Sule, who they would have signed from, I'm not quite sure, is it Juventus they've signed him from? Oh my God, what a finish on the volley, on that left foot. Take a bow, son. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. We know that. It's going to be really tough for us in the Premier League. But I think we've got goals in this team. I mean, if you think about it, our attacking trio, wait a second, Kegib going forward, little pull back here. Oh, Kone! What a save from the goalkeeper. That is positive. Yeah, our forward three, the shot's been blocked. Kone, 23 goals, Kegib, 14 goals, and Emeka Odua, who is, of course, now left us. He did score 10 goals, but I think we have replaced him quite well with Harvey Vale. The shot saved. Charlie Webster just didn't quite read that one to get an easy tap-in in the box. But Brentford gets cleared. 1 minute of stoppage time. It's been an impressive first half, to be honest. They scored a cracking goal, Sule, but ever since they scored that goal, we have been the better team in the first half. Hopefully we can carry that on, though, into the second half. It's been outstanding in this game, you know. Our right back, Donnell, one of the reasons that I'm not going for a right back in this transfer window. Oh, tries to go across the face of goal. Harvey Vale coming close to getting our first goal of the season. And of course, his first goal in the Tranmere Rovers shirt. Substitution there, Pedro coming on to replace, I think that was Solomon, wasn't he? And who, I think they've signed him from Leeds United on the game. The corner is dealt with, Brentford gets cleared, we win possession back, Arthur Stewart into Savage, who's had a good game as well so far. Come on, we have dominated the end of that first half and the second half, and it's only right for us to go on to get a goal. It's a long-range effort from Lauritsen, and it's a save. Substitution again. Vogt is being replaced here by Damsgaard. Substitutions of our own, the likes of Lauritsen and Harvey Vale coming on, and being replaced here by Mulligan. I mean, if Mulligan can have any type of season that he had in the second half of the season for us, I will take that, especially in the Premier League, which will be tough. Yeah, it's going to be a defeat, isn't it? Yeah, it's 3 minutes of stoppage time. If anyone is going to score a goal now, it looks like it could be Brentford. The shot saved by Bergstrom, who's had an outstanding game, to be fair. He kept us in it in that opening 20 or 25 minutes of the game. But other than that, we have been by far the better team. The header is won on the near post. It goes off target. The referee calls it a day here. It's a 1-0 defeat to Brentford in our opening game of the season. Some positives to take from this performance, you know. It's really not bad for our first game in the Premier League. Well, it is a defeat ultimately. You know, there was something about our performance against Brentford that just gives me a little bit of hope, that makes me think, you know what, we might just be able to do it this season. We might just be able to avoid relegation this season. I will reject this offer from Everton for £6.7 million for Tobias Lauritsen. We do not want to sell to a rival, and we certainly do not want to sell to a team that are in a lower division than us right now. I mean, who would have thought that Tranmere Rovers would be in the Premier League and Everton would be in the Championship? Let me know which of these centre-back options we should be going for in the next episode, and of course, which of the left-back option, just a couple there, we should be going for next season. But smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed this one. I believe we've got just over £30 million in our transfer budget. That should be enough to bring in a centre-back as well as a left-back before the end of the summer transfer window. I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.